In the building. God bless you guys, I really appreciate you, and it's time that I need to bring some some stuff from my heart. Yeah, I need to bring to you. But first of all, I just want to reiterate this, that it's not possible for me to pick up all messages. You guys, you know what I do, and if you don't know what I do, I'll try to quickly let you know again. By God's special grace. Well, on Twitter I have like close to 20,000 contacts. On my phone I have like close to 7,000 contacts. On my BBM, close to 2,000 contacts. I had to bring all of these down, a few months ago, because it's just impossible, to cope with all these. On my WhatsApp, even though I cut it down, I have like just under 5,000 contacts. On Instagram, 11,000 contacts. I can go on and on and on. On Facebook, 5,000. From way back. It's not possible to keep up with all this. I do have PAs and I do have assistants that helps me, but it's just impossible to keep up. So, and on top of that, what I do, I broadcast on radio in the US and UK by God's special grace 6 times or 7 times, but 6 times or 7 times in a week. So Monday to Saturday I broadcast, and I do TV, I do PR. I have a team, a wonderful team that helps and supports me. I help run my dad's Omotoso. I help manage and help run his 24-hour channel TV. I'm a dad. I'm a family man. I take my kid, to school. I do school runs, and this is just like an out of what I do. I can't, start saying everything. Every single thing I do. So it's just, in as much as I appreciate, your reach outs and everything, I can only do what I can do. I'm only human and only have 24 hours, just like you as well. So I just wanted to point that out. And a lot of my media friends have been sending messages to me about my dad, Omotoso, and I did a recording which is not out right now, but I just felt, let me just put this out. It's time. There's time for everything, and this is the time to put this out now. I'm a little bit, well, I would say I'm upset. I expect most of these things. This is a kind of generation where we are right now, but this is my question to all my friends, all my media friends, all my people that send messages to me about my mentor, Reverend Omotoso, and they're asking me, oh, are these allegations true? I put this question to you. I'm quite an open guy. Most of my stuff is out there, because as you can see on my wonderful top, and this is one of my clothing line that is coming out soon. Also on the cap, it says "Tested to Testify" by God's special grace. I am tested to testify. So most of the stuff I've gone through when I was pronounced dead, when my wife didn't have a womb, and God used my same mentor, my same dad, Reverend Omotoso, to bless us. God used him to bless us with a womb, and today we have 2 wonderful kids. When I was a prostitute, and when I was gay when I was 8 years old. These are things that I don't shy from. You guys, you read in my book, you read in my testimonies, because my testimonies, I am tested to testify. My testimonies are my scars, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of where God has brought me from. I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. I was a prostitute, and God used this same man of God who, all these allegations are, stamped upon him. God used the same man for me. It's there in the Bible when the blind man, came before Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ healed him. And the Pharisees and Sadducees were saying, hey, this guy is a sinner, man. And the blind man answered them. He said, we all know that God does not hear. He doesn't listen to a sinner. So where have you heard? That's what this guy said. He said, and he's a young man, but like not a baby. He said, where have you ever heard that a blind man has been healed? Someone that was born blind. It's never ever heard before that miracle happened. And he said, so how can a sinner open a blind eyes guy? And he said one thing. He said, if this man is a sinner or not, I don't know. But all I know is that I was blind and now I can see. So whatever allegations are out there, whatever you guys, whatever questions you guys are asking me, I don't know if the man is a sinner. Maybe you guys are not sinners. He's a sinner. We thank God for that. Jesus will say, he that doesn't sin cast the first stone. It's end time, so I'm not surprised with all this. But all I know is that I was once blind and now I can see. And most of you guys, went to school together. You knew how I was. You knew how I was. You knew what I did. You knew my life ambition. You knew what it was. Just at school, I was like a thug. Do you understand? So if my life can turn around, and God is using someone for me, then what do you have to say to that? You didn't reach out to me and say, oh, we heard that your wife didn't have a womb and God blessed her with 2 kids. You never asked me, are those allegations true? This was on my TV show by God's special grace on Sky. And, even if you go on YouTube now, TOSH MAG episode 7, you can watch how the whole miracle happened. Was that staged? Do you understand? So people like, I want to mention names. This is not a forum to mention names or point out media houses. I'm not going to do that. But if you know who I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Do you understand? So, it's not for me to talk about testimonies right now. I just want to hit head on some of these allegations out of my soul and out of my spirit. But these are my questions to you. God has used this same man of God that these allegations are coming against, he's used him to raise dead. When I say dead, it's not like in the tens, in the hundreds, in the thousands. Even in South Africa, in that same city, Port Elizabeth, in 2002, there was a lady who's alive right now, was dead 7 days in the mortuary. Where do you hear those kind of testimonies? Or do you want to deny the Bible and say, oh, no, those miracles cannot happen? Now, don't forget that Jesus said, greater works than these shall you do. So, are you trying to tell me that, the dead can't be brought back from life anymore? These are miracles that happen. But how many of you came out to me and said, oh, Shoggy, we heard about these allegations that the dead died in the mortuary for 7 days, was kept in the mortuary and was brought back to life. So how is it now that you're now reaching out to me and saying, oh, are these allegations true? What do you want me to say? Do you understand? So these are the things that, I just felt, I need to, come out and say some few words. And guys, at this point, yeah, I might be laughing, you know me, I'm just free-hearted, but I keep my focus, If you don't feel me, if you're not happy that, Reverend Omotoso is my mentor, the social networks, they've made it very easy. The phones, very, very easy. There's a delete button. You just go there, deleted. You can even block me. Feel free to do that. If you don't feel me, there's no sin in that, But I am what I am, and I thank God for what God has done for me, and I thank God for what God has used my mentor, Omotoso, for me. Do you understand? All what I have, God used him for me. Do you understand? I'm talking about media today. I'm talking about meeting great people. I'm talking about, flourishing in whatever I lay my hands on. I was never a musician. No one in my family, in my lineage, ever did music. But once this man of God prayed for me and he says goes, just one prayer, he's been serving me all these years. I know how I was. I was about to sign a porn contract. I was going to be a porn star. It was this same man of God. And I put this question to you. The word of God says, a good tree cannot give birth to bad fruits. A bad tree cannot give birth to good fruits. Jesus Christ said this. So if you can see any good in me, and I'm telling you, that this same man of God, who these allegations are put through, God used him to turn my life around. And today, you guys, many times you send me messages, oh, we thank God for your life, Shoggy. We thank God for your life. I give all the glory to God. So if you can see any good fruit, if you can see one good fruit in me, so how can a bad tree give birth to a good fruit? And I'm not just talking for myself. You have hundreds of thousands, you have millions of people all worldwide who can attest that God has used this same man, Prophet Timothy Omotoso. I put this question to you as well. Jesus Christ right now is called gay. They said that Jesus Christ had a relationship with Judas. There's Da Vinci, so you guys, you know what I'm talking about. People are saying that Jesus Christ was gay. People are saying that, Jesus Christ, had relations with Mary Magdalene. Or am I lying? So would you send an email to Jesus Christ in heaven now and say, Jesus, I want to serve you, I want to believe in you, but before I believe in you, please respond to my email or respond to my text message or respond to my voice note that, I need to know, were you gay or did you really have relations with Mary Magdalene? But we serve Jesus Christ in spite of these allegations. These allegations, there are allegations about Jesus Christ that said he's a devil. Jesus never said he's not a devil. He just said that, okay, if I'm a devil, how am I casting out all these demons? Any kingdom that is divided against itself cannot rise. It will fall. But he said, if I am casting out devils by the power of God, the kingdom of God is come against you. So how can a devil cast out a devil? What if all these allegations are from Satan? Now, I'll go directly to these allegations now. Don't forget that this has been going on for like a year and a half now. There's been a cyber attack on my mentor's ministry. His TV station was hacked. And it was used by fraudsters to collect money from people. And if you go on ADBN right now, which is my dad's Reverend Omotoso's TV, you see where he had to put out something that, hey, I don't know about all these things, all this Facebook. I'm going to go to the Facebook in a minute. Do you understand? They cloned the website. They used this, and it was only by God's grace that we're able to get that back. All these are planned from higher powers. When that didn't work, they now went on Facebook, started to form fake accounts saying Tim Omotoso, and they do this to a lot of men of God. I'm going to pray for you. And my mentor didn't know anything about this, and they collected hundreds of thousands of money from South Africans, from Nigerians. And we had to report to Facebook, try to bring this account down. At times, every 2 days, this was coming out. When that didn't work again now they now started all these allegations, rape allegations, molesting allegations. Do you understand? Now, before I say what I know, Let me bring this to you. These are things that you guys are saying online, but you refuse to look at this. Now, this is something on Twitter. You might not see it properly, but I'm going to read it out now. He says, "It is amazing how I, Veliswa Sinta, was in the same house with all these girls at the same time, but not once did the man of God, Reverend Omotoso, touch me or anyone else." You don't want to see that. No media house wants to bring that out. No blog wants to, because that's not what you want. Everyone is working. You know, there's one day, one thing that gives me joy is that there's one day where everybody, either Chinese, either Nigeria, either South Africans, either Japanese, whichever country we might be from, we're going to stand before God. Either you believe in God or you don't believe in God. You believe in Jesus Christ, you don't believe in Jesus Christ. That's cool. But there's one day where we all stand before God. And Jesus Christ said, he said, everything that is hidden will be made plain. You see, I'm smiling now because I'm just so confident. I'm so confident in my Lord Jesus Christ. And I thank God for my mentor, Reverend Omotoso, who God used for me. And he's still using for me. I'm so glad that, yeah, even though you think he's caged, but the power of God is not caged. Blessings are coming into my house every day, every hour. What I share online and all the things I thank God for is just an iota of what God has done through my mentor for me. Look at the clothing line. I'm someone that used to live on the streets. I'm someone that was a prostitute. I'm someone that used to be a fraudster. And God used the same man for me. Now I have a clothing line. I have that's my hat. These are things that God has done for me. So that's all I can share. Do you understand? So why is it that the media doesn't want to pick this one up? Because everybody's working for a master. And Jesus Christ said, he said, those that want to be filthy still. Those that want to be righteous, be righteous. He said, I'm coming. I come very soon and I bring my reward. There's one day. Carry on. Let everybody carry on with what they're doing. I'm not angry. My mentor is not angry. I speak with him. I'm in touch with him, even where he is. And his heart is at peace because he knows what God has written for him. This is someone that before he was born, it was said by a powerful prophet in Nigeria, which most of you guys know. I will not mention any names. And he said, this child is for a sign and is for the rising and the falling of many. So I'm not surprised. This is not new. Do you understand? This is not new. All what is happening is either for the rising of some people, just like Jesus Christ. The word of God says that Jesus is for the rising and the falling of many, as the prophet told Mary in the temple. Simeon, he told Simeon in the temple. And Simeon said, he's for the rising and for the falling of many. So you now choose what you want. But don't forget there's one day. Now this lady is part of the 3-girl group, which I'm not going to mention name. And they later on became 5 girls. And she's saying, but nobody wants to see that one. But you want to believe on ladies who have been paid. It's been proven that they've been paid to the point that they've been paid like 500 rands each to bring out these allegations, and they've been promised that they'll be supplied groceries. You might be thinking, oh, what is 500 rands, which is like probably around 70, 80 pounds in England, but in South Africa, that's a lot of money. Now, a few days ago, there was a broadcast on Facebook, I have a copy of the video, where this lady was a prostitute in Port Elizabeth. I've lived in Port Elizabeth for a little while before. I've lived in most of these cities in South Africa, Durban, Port Elizabeth. I've been with the man of God. I'm going to come to that in a minute. Now, this lady was a prostitute. Now, she was admitted to the hospital. All these things are online, on videos, recorded. And she had a vision that the man of God, my mentor, appeared to her, Reverend Omotoso, appeared to her in a dream, in a vision, and prayed for her, and she decided to stop prostituting. She came to the church in P and she gave a powerful testimony in our church, Jesus Dominion International. Now, a few days ago, one of the pastors, who I'm not going to mention names, some of you that know, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not shy mentioning names, but I just decided that, you know what, I don't want this to be an attack to anyone. I'm not attacking anyone. I just want to speak the truth and speak my mind. Whoever that knows whoever I'm speaking about, God bless you. If you don't know, God bless you. It was online and it's still on Facebook right now. This lady, this prostitute, former prostitute, now went on a Facebook Live with another sister of mine called Victory, and said this lady was admitting that one of the main pastors who is behind all these allegations, who is empowering all these people, went to meet her at home, offered her money, offered to buy her groceries, and he was escorted there with policemen. Where were the policemen from? Where would this guy get policemen? Not 1, not 2, not 3 policemen, not 4, not 5, to escort him to go and do this assignment? That's a question mark. But no blog wants to pick this up. Nobody. You mistakenly, you don't see this. You choose not to see this. You choose to see what you want to see. Now, this lady went on and said, this pastor, which used to be a pastor in my dad's ministry, now came around and said she thought about it, but she thought, this is not fair because God used this man of God for me. He used this man of God for me, and why should I now be paid to bring wrong allegations? Because now they're struggling to get witnesses. in the court. So they're desperate to get witnesses, but nobody wants to see that. That's by the way. Now, this is another report that just came out a few days. I'm going to read it. You know, I know you can't see it now because of the screen, but I just want to show you first, then I'll read it. Listen to this. This is someone in South Africa that is saying, to me, there is something so strange about this pastor's unlawful arrest. This is not a member of the ministry. So far, the Hawks, and the Hawks are the elite police elite force that is investigating and arresting and doing all these things. So far, the Hawks have been lying to us, the citizens, and feeding us with fake news and propaganda about this pastor. The Hawks should learn to investigate and win a case straight and not fight the battle in the media. So why are the Hawks using the media? You're a police force. You've been investigating my mentor for like 7 months. So when you were investigating him, and you knew that this man of God was meeting up with ladies in a certain house, why didn't you go and catch him in the act? Why didn't these ladies that were coming to you, why didn't you plant a camera on them and get them to record the man of God, or plant it somewhere and record it when he was in the act? Why did you do that? You forgot to do that. Interesting. This is what this guy is now saying. He said, every statement by the Hawks so far has been a lie. They said this pastor was on the run, but it turned out that he was never on the run. In fact, he was at his residence and even attended his normal Sunday services at the church in Durban. He also visited the Hawks in Durban to ask if he was sought after from what he was hearing on the news, and he was told that it was a mere investigation from the Hawks branch in Port Elizabeth. Let me make a pause there. My mentor was in Bloemfontein, the crusade that was held just before his arrest, a few days afterwards. The Hawks came on Friday. They were in the meeting. They didn't arrest him. They came on Saturday. You see a picture that I posted with my mentor, this same tested to testify. By God's grace, I sent my clothing line to him, and he put it on. That was what he put it on a few days before he was arrested. You could see his own was white. Do you understand? So I had a recording from where he was doing his choir practice with some of the pastors. He met the pastors, he met the choirs. He wasn't arrested. This was an open meeting. This has been advertised. And most of these guys have been, you don't know that, I'll come back to this. They went on Facebook like 2 weeks before the arrest, and they were doing a propaganda, making fake accounts on Facebook and putting out Omotoso is a rapist before the Hawks were, before they came out to arrest. So all this was propaganda that's been going on for a while, trying to smear the name of the man of God and so much and so on. And also the guy that is from Nigeria, who I'm not going to mention his name, you know who I'm talking about, that his assignment on earth is to discredit men of God. Please carry on, my brother. I call you my brother because you're a human being, and I still call you a brother because I'm not causing you, I'm praying for you. But remember that one day you're going to stand in front of your Creator. You fought Bishop T.B. Joshua. You fought a lot of men of God. Even on your profile, you had to apologize to a pastor who I'm not going to mention his name, because you had to now admit that all your allegations were wrong. You go around 24 hours to bring up allegations about men of God. Carry on. As Jesus Christ has said, carry on. Some might be true, some might be wrong. Carry on. Men of God are men of God. Remember Moses. God dealt with Moses. And there was Miriam and Aaron who got up and said, you know what? No. What Moses is doing is not right. Miriam was a sister of Moses, and she got leprosy. And Aaron was Moses' brother. God didn't touch him because he had the priesthood, the ephod, and everything on. But when he died naked on the mountain. It's all in the Bible. What is God telling us here? That's why he said, touch no my anointed. Do my prophets no harm. That doesn't mean anointed are perfect, or men of God are perfect. But God deals with them. God dealt with Moses. Moses did not reach the promised land because God dealt with him because he disobeyed God. So, if you remember, even David, Saul was trying to kill David. There was proof that Satan had entered Saul. There was proof that Saul was demonic, because he even went to the witchcraft. He went to do witchcraft. He went to the witches. But David, a man after God's own heart, said, I will not touch God's anointed. And God dealt with Saul when it was time. God killed Saul. Gamaliel said in the Bible that you are trying to stop these guys, the apostles. But if they are of God, you cannot stop them. So if Omotoso is of God, you can't stop him. You can try. But God will vindicate him if he is of the truth. And in the fullness of time, you know if he's of the truth. So the Hawks never arrested my mentor then. They came on the Friday, they came on the Saturday. Then on the Sunday that my mentor decided not to come to church and then go back to Durban, they said he was on the run. And all the blogs, all the medias, everyone, they just jumped on the bandwagon. As a journalist, I'm a journal. I've been doing journalism for 20 years. Do you understand? As a true journalist, you check both sides. There's a story, you check the both sides, and you put it out to people and let people now decide whatever they want to believe. How come the media are just jumping on one side? Big question mark. Now, my mentor went to church. After that, he went to church in Durban on Sunday. Okay, if you say you don't know his house address, does everybody not know our branch in Durban? Why didn't the Hawks go and arrest him? Now they were now saying he's on the run. And they painted using the media and doing all these things. Let me carry on and finish what this guy said. And he now said, the man of God, well, I'm saying the man of God, he said he made arrangements to meet the Hawks. And he flew in to present himself to the Hawks, and that was on the 20th of April, and was now manhandled. So far, the Hawks are just used to settle political and business scores. That's a question mark. Now, my mentor went to Durban. I'm a camera guy. When I say I'm a camera guy, I don't handle cameras, but I'm a media guy. You know, point of correction. I know how long it takes to set up a camera, how long it takes to set up lighting. I know the behind the scenes. Now, this was a private meeting. My mentor paid for his own ticket, got his ticket, left Durban, went to Port Elizabeth, and he had a return ticket coming back because he believed that it was a private meeting. Because these were allegations, and they wanted to question him. That was all. No arrest, nothing. He now got to the airport, went to the gents to ease himself, and these Hawks came in. They shot a live shot, not a rubber bullet, a live shot. They did not record that part. And they now lied and said he was in the ladies, which is not true, he was in the gents. He was easing himself. They came over the cubicle and said, come out. And they handcuffed him, brought him out, and they allowed people to beat him up. They allow people to beat, because people are beating him, and his lawyer, his advocate was saying, this is not right. Where's a warrant of arrest? What do you call it? A warrant. Everybody knows in every country, even if it's a police country, you need a warrant to arrest someone. Where's the warrant? Till today, there was no warrant. And they took him and they arrested him, and since then, they've just been doing delay tactics. You're saying ladies, they're going to come out. Bring out even the ladies. They're now saying that, no, the ladies are saying that, they're going to manhandle them. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. These people are left the ministry. So how are they a threat? How is someone going to threat them? Threaten them. And they just using delay tactics. You said that the man of God was deported from Nigeria from England to South Africa. We are educated. I believe at least most of us are educated. If someone is deported, you'll be deported to your own country. So why was he not deported from England to Nigeria? You said it was on fraud. Which fraud? Where's the fraud? There are even allegations. Some of you are sending messages to me that the man of God, when he was here, he promised a popular musician and minister, who I'm not going to mention the name, but you know who I'm talking about, promised her £1 million pounds, and he never gave her. And that is fraud. Even if I promise and say I'm going to give you something, I decide not to give you, is that a crime? Even God writes people's name in the book of life, he takes it out. Is God a criminal? There's more to say, but today is not the day. And these are things that is going on. And people are just, and they just be delay tactics and just be bringing up different things. Now, everybody is saying the man of God, the Hawks are saying they don't know where the man of God is living, and because of that, they cannot release him. But you said that his residence, he's been molesting ladies for months, for years. So don't you know that address? So you can just see that they're just going in circles, and the media is just jumping on, just blogging and carrying on. Please carry on. It's a wonderful work. Now let me, because there's not much time, let me just quickly run through this. Now this is another. I can't read all of them. This is as well. It's from South Africa, from a guy called Sam Clef. Let me read this to you. He says, after the court was closed yesterday, and this was like a few days ago, the last time when the court session was going on. I'm not going to mention the name. A pastor in the ministry, the former pastor, went to some of the girls who used to be prostitutes, and one of them was delivered by Reverend Omotoso. He asked the girl to lie against the man of God. He was accompanied by police officers. In case I was lying, this is another thing. This is on Facebook, but blogs do not. They just happen not to see this. They happen not to see all of this. Now, the video is online. That's what the guy is saying. And this pastor promised to buy them groceries and give them money. And this happened just after the court case. This pastor used to go to JDI, Jesus Domain International, and he sold Reverend Omotoso by bribing young girls with groceries and money to lie against this man of God. God is not a maid. No victims are caught. No documents for the Hawks. And you guys said you were raped. No case. The judge still said after 2 weeks there's still nothing. He said, why keep so many years? Why keep this for so many years if you are raped? How come all of a sudden you've been raped for 6 years, 7 years, and now is the time that everybody's coming out? You visited the church. He mentioned one of the girls who is saying that she was raped. I'm not going to mention the girl's name here. He said that you were visiting the church till December 2016, last year. And you are telling, and now you are saying that you were raped. Why now? How come you kept silent for so long and you kept coming back to the same church where you were raped? And this is online, but nobody sees this one. Do you understand? Now, this is one of the girls who, before the man of God was arrested, like 2-3 weeks, a month before this was going on Facebook calling the man of God rapist. She was, if I'm right, approved to be corrected, was part of the documentary that was done on Cutting Edge and on the program online. This is what she said now on Facebook. You guys, you decided not to see this as well. Let me read what she said. I don't want to mention her name. I was never raped. But the psychological abuse, the sexual harassment and threats were just as dreadful and deplorable too. The objective was to expose and try to spare other girls from it reaching to the hands of this predator, calling my mentor predator now. You know, she said, to be quite frank, she only knows, sorry, pardon me, she only knows the true details of happenings. Otherwise, she has opinions, and that's her own entitlement. The rest is history. This girl is now saying she's not raped. She hasn't been raped. She said she was raped before. But you guys didn't see that. Why is she now saying all of a sudden she's not raped anymore now? Question mark. I can't read all these things. Now, listen to this. This is a very interesting one. Again, another one. But I don't want to read. I don't want to mention names. Because this is not an attack forum. This lady says, the courage that she's having right now, receiving from this great man, and the great man is the Nigerian who is spearheading all this media witch hunt, and he's been doing that to all men of God. I'm not going to mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about. That he has showed, pardon me, he showed them to stand up and to live and to have love and justice and prevail. Now, hear what this girl is now saying now. And this is one of the people that is actually against my mentor, Reverend Omotoso. She said her eyes watered while watching the news a few weeks ago about an accused Nigerian pastor from Durban. It's safe that we as loving Christians get our faith tested by such acts in the name of uplifting others in need. Listen to this now. I saw this lady, I'm not going to mention the name of the lady, the name of the lady is here, in the front line of the fire saving our girls. That is on the other side that is saying with the ANC and saying, you know, yeah, this man of God should go to hell, he raped and everything. Now she saw the lady spearheading this witch hunt. Listen to this. With so many females beside her. Listen to this. And I was shocked that people can be so naive and heartless. This very Save Our Girls ambassador is the same person who is selling beautiful innocent girls to leaders in Johannesburg. She's the same person that pressurizes young innocent underprivileged girls into sleeping with her befriended friends in the politicians, people. The media didn't see this. The same lady spearheading this witch hunt. She pays girls to get them to sleep with politicians. Question mark. I can't go through all this. Now, again, this is one of the girls who was with the girls that are accusing the man. Two girls that were in the musical group. I'm not going to mention the musical group that is accusing my mentor of raping them and molesting them. One of these girls admitted to us years back that she accused a man wrongly. This is not a man of God, just a general man, that the man raped her, and that man served jail term. And she now admitted that the man never raped her. She willingly gave in to him, and she just felt like, you know, she wanted to punish him, and she did that. One of these girls. The media doesn't see this. They decide not to share this as well. Now, this lady that I'm showing you here is one of the girls group, and the way it works is like, there's a lot of girls group, and you will not say, oh, it's girls. It's no men. I'm a man, and most of women were useless. That's the truth. I'm not ashamed to say it. Most of men are useless. They are not willing to be used. That's why you go to church, even in Jesus Christ's ministry, and that's why he was accused. He was called a drunkard. He was called a womanizer because he had a lot of women around his ministry. How many men? Yeah, the 12 disciples were men. But the women that were actually ministering to Jesus, the people that were ministering to Jesus, how many men? You have Mary Magdalene, you have Mary the mother of Jesus, you have, you know, the mother of James and John, and the list goes on. You know, Salome, you know, the list goes on. So, what's the sin that there were a lot of women around Jesus Christ? Was he sleeping with them? Question mark. Do you understand? The man of God gives everybody an opportunity. Though this same man of God, years ago, he would not even allow a woman to touch his food because they have periods. Back in Nigeria, when the ministry was CAYCM, you can check with anybody. No woman could even shake his hand. In London, I couldn't even shake the man of God's hand. That was how, but because of the way South Africa is, and because God sent him to deliver the South Africans, God sent him there for a purpose. He had to bring down his level and be everybody's, just be like a pastor and keep the prophetic a lot of times so that he can reach out to many people and lift them up to God. And that is his crime now. Not to forget that, a few weeks ago, before this started, Lucifer came to my mentor and was speaking to him from afar like a loudspeaker. And he was saying, you're taking all my children. Well, not me, his children. He's taking all his children. And he's going to fight back. The media does not see this. Now, a few months ago, there was a lady that came from Zimbabwe into our ministry in Port Elizabeth. This lady was a power of darkness. She's been to many churches and destroyed many churches. She came. This is on the video. This is on. It's on online, but you don't see that as well. This lady got a passport mysteriously. She didn't go to the Zimbabwean Home Office to apply for a passport. She never had a passport. A passport appeared to her. Money appeared to her. And she traveled down to South Africa. And nobody brought her out. She said the city was burning. Fire was burning. And she came out and she was confessing that she was sent to destroy the man of God. And she was appealing that, please, please, please. The media does not see this. So you can easily see that this is another smear. Another thing. So this lady is now saying that, yeah, so now I've traveled with the man of God. I've known the man of God for like 20 years. Close to 20 years. I've lived in South Africa for a good number of time. I've gone to Port Elizabeth. I've lived in Port Elizabeth. I've lived in Soweto. I've lived in Johannesburg, in Durban, in Bloemfontein. I can speak a little bit of Xhosa and a little bit of Zulu already because I've spent a lot of time in South Africa. Johannesburg, Mabato. The list is endless. I've moved with all these girls. I've stayed with most of these girls. I've been to the prison ministry. I see how in Nigeria when these girls come over, our rooms are not far from each other. There's also ladies around them. Some of these ladies have been accused of recruiting. Firstly, these ladies, they've been with the man of God. They be around the man of God, to minister unto him, iron his clothes, iron the girls' clothes, and the girls as well. The minister. Pardon me. I used to have a cold, but the cold is gone in Jesus' name. I'm gonna bring this out. There's no way. You know me, I bring it. Do you understand? So these girls, there are always girls around them. So how come that this was happening and none of the other girls knew about it? Now this girl was in the group. They're always together. And see what she says. She says, I'm not going to mention her name, but it's online. This is from Facebook, as I'm showing you. She says, God is surely going to make them pay. I used to sing with them in the group. I'm not mentioning the name of the group. So I know how they are compound. She called them a name that I don't want to call. It's a rude name. I'm not going to call them. And they are idiotic idiots. This is one of the girls. But you don't see that. You don't want to see that. And it goes on and on. I'm going to read this last one. This is a guy who used to transport the girls, most of all these girls, from way back 2002 till now. He used to live with them. He gets food for them, and so on and so forth. And there are men as well, but nobody sees that. Now, people were even saying that in the Covenant Voices that it's only ladies. But men are part of them. Covenant Voices, they're not a secret court group. They've won awards. They've won awards in Hollywood. They were nominated even in the John Music Awards just a few months ago. There are men there. Even men from Nigeria. But you just cook these things around and the media jump on it. Interesting. This is the last one I'm going to read and then I'm just going to speak my mind. This has gone for like 35 minutes now and I don't want to just say, I didn't know it was going to be this long. I just wanted to speak for like 15 to 20 minutes. But I'm going to round this up very, very soon. Now let me read this. This is the last one I'm going to read. There's so much, but this is the last one I'm going to read. It says, let me start from the beginning. The boy who was confessing came with 2 criminal cases in church. And this man of God prayed for him. And God intervened. The girl claims it happened years ago and that is why she left the ministry. But this same girl, who I know, I'm not going to mention her name, but most of you guys know. This same girl came back last year, 2016, to the church after she left for so long and begged to stay in the very same house the man of God. And this house, the man of God just got the house so that, you know, groups like Simply Christ, groups like Grace Galaxy, they could be there because they now need to minister. They need to sing. Most of the times they travel around with the man of God and they minister. Do you understand? You see them. They come to Nigeria. They've been to Jamaica. They've sung with even fellas Femi Kuti. They've been around. They went to the president, the prime minister of Jamaica. They've won multi awards, simply Kisolite. So the man of God got the house. His sin now is for showing love to people. There was a point, you know, the man of God might actually want me to say this, but a lot of people know about it. The man of God withdrew his own children from the school in South Africa. He took their own school fees and used it to pay for most of these girls. That is a sin for wanting to. This same man of God, he chose not to build a house. These were things that inspired me. He said Jesus never built a house. He refused to build a house. These houses, he just rented them. And the ones he rented, he even gave it out free for men, women to be living in. Because he said Jesus Christ never had a house. Paul never had a house. He's not going to have a house. These are the things that inspired me. The media never saw that one. Now, I'll carry on. He says, this same girl came back last year after she left for so long and begged to stay in the same very house that people are now talking about. Why, after so many years, did you come back to a rapist? You came back to a rapist. You live in Secunda, far away from Durban, yet you called the very same man who raped you to ask the person to come back. He said, hello. Reverend Omotoso used to use his car to go to church alone. He always goes alone, even not with the Simply Christolite. Members in that house use a bus, as it was mentioned on TV, and they're all young people. I'm just trying to go through as much as possible. Yeah, so the video cut off there because I ran out of space and I'm recording in HD. So I'll just round this up. I'll add this video to the line again. Thank you guys for looking through this and you know, judge by yourself, you know. But I'm not. Nobody is saying support the man of God. No, I'm not even saying that because God's support is enough for him. But just know that there's an end and God will judge every single person. So we can do whatever we want to do. That's cool. And you know, I'm cool with everyone. You know, I'm not angry. You know, I have my smiley face. The last point I just want to put out is there's been a sound recording going on SoundCloud, and this guy that is spearheading the witch hunt, the Nigerian who you know as well. As I said, I'm not going to mention his name. I spoke about him earlier. His work is to discredit men of God, and he's been doing a great job. You know, carry on, my brother. Yeah, he went on and got this clip from someone, and I'm going to get the full clip and I'm going to analyze it in some few days. God giving me the grace. And he was saying the man of God is talking about his private part. He's saying, you know, he's admitting openly that he's been sleeping with people. The man of God was just joking. And I'll explain to you. I'm a Nigerian. I'm a British, you know, born in England, but you know, of Nigerian parents, so I'm Nigerian. From where I'm from, if someone already concludes their mind about you, they come to you and they've already concluded their mind to you. You tell them, yeah, what you're saying is true. Jesus Christ never even said what anybody was saying was not true. He just went silent. And even if you go silent, it means that you're saying that the person, what they're saying is true. But what they're saying against Jesus, was it true? Now, all this while, so many rumors have been going on. People have been leaving the choir. I mean, so many things have been going on. You know, people come back after they've donated money and saying they want their money back. And the man of God was fed up to his teeth. And he went on the pulpit and he was saying, you guys are saying that, you know, I'm sleeping with everybody. Yeah, God endowed me. You know, so if you want to get some, come and get some. He was even playing and saying, he was singing a P Square's song, personally I will deal with you. He's a jovial man of God. He always says, I don't joke, I only drink Coke. Do you understand? So he was saying, and he was saying, even if you're a journalist, if you want some, come and get some. But they read this out of a whole message where the man of God was speaking about so many other things. They cut that out.